Have you noticed that almost every field today is somehow connected to coding? Web development, automation, data analysis, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, app development, backend systems, scripting, testing, and even simple day-to-day productivity work. And in the middle of all this, one language keeps showing up again and again, and that language is Python. Now the problem is not that Python is little hard, but the real problem is most of the students do not know where to start, what to learn first, what to skip in the beginning, and how to move from basic syntax to actually building useful things. And that is exactly what this video is going to solve. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete Python roadmap in the simplest possible way. We will go step by step. We will understand what Python is, why it is so powerful, what topics you should learn in a particular order, what projects should you build, and how you can choose the right career path depending upon your goal. So whether you are a complete beginner, a college student, someone preparing for jobs, or someone who wants to enter in the field like web development, data science, automation, or machine learning, then this video will help you understand the journey clearly. So let's look at the agenda of our today's video. First, we will understand what Python is and why so many students are learning it today. Next, we will cover the Python basics, where you should start with variables, loops, functions, and core syntax. Then we will move into important concepts like data structures, modules, file handling, and error handling. After that, we will understand object-oriented programming and why it matters in Python. Then we will talk about problem solving and the kind of practice you should do to become strong in Python. And we will look at the beginner-friendly projects that will help you apply what you learn. And finally, we will see the different career paths you can choose after Python, like automation, web development, data analysis, machine learning, AI, and cybersecurity, along with the tools and portfolio you need to grow. Also, here's a quick information. If you want to move beyond basic of Python and start learning how machine learning works, then this course is a great next step. Simplilearn's machine learning using Python course helps you understand how to work with the real-world data and turn into useful predictions. You will learn important concepts like supervised and unsupervised learning, regression, classification, clustering, and time series modeling. The course also gives you 40 hours of applied learning, interactive labs, and hands-on projects, so you do not just learn theory. With 4 real-world projects and mentoring support, you get the chance to practice what companies actually expect in the real world. It is a strong option for learners who want to grow towards roles like machine learning engineer, AI engineer, or data science professional. You also get industry-recognized certification support, which can add value to your profile. So if you already know some Python and want to build practical machine learning skills, this course can be a very smart choice, trust me. It is designed to help you learn, practice, and move closer to the real career in machine learning. Now, before we deep dive into our today's video, here's a quick quiz question for you. And the question is, in Python, which data structure is used to store key value pairs? And your options are option A, list, option B, tuple, option C, dictionary, and the option D, set. Let me know your answers in the comment section below and let's see who will give the right answer first. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. So before diving into the roadmap, let's first understand what is Python and why so many people are learning it today. Python is one of the easiest and most beginner-friendly programming languages in today's world. Why? Because its syntax is simple, it reads almost like English, you do not have to fight too much with the complicated symbols in the beginning. And because of that, you can focus more on logic, problem solving, and building real things. This is one of the biggest reasons students love Python today. But Python is not just easy, it is also extremely powerful. With Python, you can do things like build websites, analyze data, automate boring tasks, create APIs, build machine learning models, and even write scripts for testing. So, Python is not just a language, It is more like a strong foundation that can open many career paths. But now comes the biggest question. How do you actually learn Python properly? Because randomly watching tutorials is not a roadmap. Saving 10 playlists is not a roadmap. Installing Python and printing Hello World is not a roadmap. A roadmap means learning in the right order. So now let us understand that order. Stage 1. Start with the absolute basics. When you begin Python, do not jump straight into AI, web development, or advanced frameworks. First, build your basics properly. You should learn what Python is, how to install Python, how to set up a code editor like VS Code, how to run your first Python program. Then move into the core basics like variables, data types, input and output, and even type conversion. This is the stage where you become comfortable with the language. Then after that, move into conditional statements like if, loops like for or while, and then functions. This part is very important because this is where real logic building starts. So at stage 1, your goal is simple. Understand the core building blocks of Python and practice them again and again. Do not rush this stage. A weak foundation creates confusion later on. Now the stage 2, learn data structures properly. Once your basics are clear, the next step is to learn Python data structures. This is where many students start feeling that programming is becoming more interesting. Here you need to learn lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Now this part is very important because data structures help you store and manage data in different ways. At this stage, do not just memorize definitions. Practice operations, learn how to add items, remove items, update items, slice list, loop through dictionaries, sort data, and combine collections. This stage helps you move from basic syntax to real programming. Now the stage 3, master functions, modules, and code reusability. Now, once your basics are clear and data structures are also clear, the next step is to write better code. This is where you should focus on functions in depth, arguments, and parameters. Written values, scope, lambda functions, and then modules and packages. Why is this stage that important? Because beginners often write everything in one long file. That may work for tiny programs, but real code needs structure. Functions help you break larger programs into smaller, reusable pieces. For example, instead of writing one giant program, you can create separate functions for taking input, processing data, validating information, and displaying the results. Then you should understand modules. Modules help you organize your code and also use built-in Python features. This is where you begin using modules like math, random, datetime, OS, and many others. You know, when students reach this point, they start feeling that Python is becoming a real tool. Now, stage 4, learn file handling and error handling. A lot of beginners only learn console-based programs, but real applications usually work with files, external data, or user-generated content. So here you should learn how to open files, read files, append data, and work with text files. Then learn exception handling using try, except, finally, and custom error handling basics. Now the stage 5, object-oriented programming. At this stage, many students fear in the beginning because of OOPS, object-oriented programming. Let me simplify it to you. Object-oriented programming is just a way of organizing code better, especially when programs become larger. Here you should learn classes, objects, constructions, instance, variables, methods, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. At first, these words may sound heavy to you, but once you start with real-life examples, they become much more easier. That is all OOPS is doing for you. It is helping you model real-world entities in code. Now, do you need OOPS for every small Python script? No. But if you want to become strong in Python, especially for interviews, backend development, bigger applications, or software engineering roles, then OOPS is very important. Now the stage 6, practice problem solving and logic building. This stage is where real improvement happens. Because, let us be honest, watching Python tutorials is one thing, but solving problems on your own is another. Start practicing small coding problems regularly. Work on number problems, string problems, list problems, patterns, logic-based questions, searching, sorting, and beginner-level algorithms. You do not need to jump into extremely hard DSA at the day one, trust me. Start with simple questions like reverse string, find the largest number, count vowels, remove duplicates, check palindrome, find factorial, merge two lists, count word frequency, and similar basic logic tasks. This stage sharpens your brain. It teaches you how to think like a programmer. And very importantly, it also helps in your interview. Now the stage 7, build beginner level projects. After learning topics like next step is to build projects. This is where students finally start. Seeing the fun side of Python, at this stage build small projects like calculator, number guessing game, to-do list, expense tracker, or simple automation scripts. Now once your core Python foundation is strong, the road starts branching into different direction. And this is where many students get confused. So let me make it very simple for you. You can choose the path 1 as Python for automation. If you like productivity and saving time, learn automation. Use Python for file renaming, Excel handling, web scraping, email automation, browser automation, and task scheduling. Now the part 2, Python for web development. If you want to build websites or backend systems, go into web development after the core Python. Learn HTTP basics, APIs, JSON, databases, and then frameworks like Flask or Django. Then learn authentication, CRUD operations, REST APIs, and deployment basics. Now the part 3, Python for data analysis. If you like working with data, reports, trends, and business insights, go into data analysis. After core Python, learn NumPy, Pandas, data cleaning, data visualization, Matplotlib, and maybe Jupyter Notebook. Now part 4, Python for machine learning and AI. If your interest is in machine learning or AI, then after core Python, focus on math basics, statistics, NumPy, Pandas, data preprocessing, scikit-learn, model training, and evaluation. Now part 5, Python for cybersecurity and scripting. If you are interested in ethical hacking or security scripting, Python is also useful there for network scanning, logic analysis, automation, basic security tools, and scripting custom utilities. So this is very important to remember. First learn core Python, then choose your specialization. Do not choose the specialization first and ignore the foundation. Now stage 9 is all about learning the developer essentials that make you more professional and job ready. This includes tools like Git, and PIP, along with practical skills like debugging, using the command line, managing virtual environments, handling requirement files, and reading documentation. These things may seem small at first, but they are ones that helps you move from just learning Python to actually working like a real developer. Once you pick your path, start building more meaningful projects. For example, if you choose web development, then build a blog API, student management system, or task manager. If you choose data analysis, then build dashboards, data cleaning case studies, or sales analysis projects. And if you choose machine learning, then build prediction systems, classification projects, recommendation prototypes, or chatbot related mini apps. And while building, upload your work on GitHub because your portfolio speaks louder than saying, I know Python. A student with visible projects always looks stronger than a student with only theory. Now, before we close, let me quickly tell you some common mistakes people make in their learning journey. The first mistake is trying to learn everything at once. The second mistake is watching tutorials without coding along. Third mistake, is avoiding the practice. Fourth one is jumping into advanced libraries without understanding basics. And the fifth mistake is comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Avoid these mistakes in your Python journey because the right learning approach matters just as much as the language itself. Focus on steady projects, practice consistently, and remember, Python is not a race. It is a skill that you build step by step. So, if I had to summarize this complete Python roadmap in one simple flow, it would be like this. Start with Python basics, then learn control flow and functions, then learn data structures, then file handling and exceptions, then object-oriented programming, then problem solving, then beginner projects, then choose your path as automation, web development, data analysis, machine learning, or cybersecurity. Then finally build strong projects and a portfolio. That is the roadmap, not random confusion, not endless tutorials hoping, a clear path. Python is one of those skills that can genuinely change your career direction, your confidence, and the kind of opportunities you can go after this. So take this roadmap seriously, follow it with consistency, and start building today. Because the students who win are not always the smartest ones in the beginning. They are usually the ones who stay regular, stay curious, and keep practicing. And before we wrap up, here's another good news for you. Simplilearn is here with its Python Basics to Advanced course in 24-hour series. So instead of hopping from one random tutorial to another, you can learn everything in one place in one clear path. I have given the link in the description box below. Go check it out now and start your Python journey today with Simplilearn. Remember, you do not need to know everything today. You just need to start today and keep moving step by step. And with that, we have come to the end of our today's video. If you found this Python roadmap helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and keep learning with Simplilearn.